all to another premium spirits review, social distancing edition. I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your king of extreme, the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man that makes the other podcast cower, Phil K.O.E., joined by my indomitable broadcast partner, the one, the only,
Tony F and G. Like, share, subscribe.
We are here for not our usual wares. This is something to kind of test Tony out a little bit. This is a mystery spirit. So stick around for the end of this video, folks, to find out what is this mystery spirit that I am having Tony G review. This one is unique, and it's not easy to find, and it's not easy to get your hands on. So I want to see how astute Tony's nose has come along, because this is a unique spirit aged in a cask aging that is not normal for this spirit. So I want to see if he can pick any of it out. And if he can, well, he gets 2 gold stars here, folks. So, Tony, if you would, open the mystery bottle and pour it into the glass.
All right.
After I reveal, we will grade it.
Okay. You're not going to reveal this until after I've smelled it and tasted it.
Yes.
Pouring now.
Wouldn't be much of a mystery.
Okay. Okay. I have not tasted this, and I am ready to sample it on the nose.
Marvelous. It's not what you're expecting.
It's very sweet.
Yes.
But it's got a lingering boozy aroma.
Hello.
Not minty, not buttery, but not honey, but there's a sweetness there. Just a sugary, like a sugar cane.
Yep.
Maybe a fruity sweetness.
Yep. I can see that.
Okay.
Well, I think you need to have a little splash on your palate.
There's a distinct smell here that I'm not pinpointing. I'm going to kick myself for not pinpointing, but it's there.
When I reveal it to you. But this is an unusual one. So let's see if a palating helps at all.
Okay, let's give it a shot. Cinnamon.
Yep. Yeah.
Honestly,
cinnamon burn with that sweetness on the front.
Oh, heavy cinnamon. Licorice.
I could see that.
Definitely some licorice. Now I'm getting a bit of a minty freshness on the settling aftertaste. It's okay. This is interesting. I'm quite compelled. It's obviously a brown spirit.
Yes, sir.
Very heavy on the cinnamon. I would say.
Can you guess the spirit or the cask aging? Because both are going to throw you off. It's designed to throw you off. It's designed to appeal to a wide market. So the mystery spirit, Tony G, tries to dig in.
It's got enough of a floral and a sweetness to a taste. It's not bourbon, but I could see some bourbon casking, and I would just instantaneously say, like, yeah, bourbon casting, 12 years probably, no more than 14.
It doesn't give an age statement, but this spirit was in fact aged in ex-bourbon barrels.
I would say, the sweetness alone.
Well done.
The sweetness is a definite bourbon sweetness. Licorice and cinnamon are just standing out so much to me. That smell I can't pinpoint, but I really like it.
So what do you suppose the spirit is, sir?
I assume it's not a blended because it tastes very
Nope,
specific.
it's just one spirit.
It's not Scotch, so I'd go either Canadian or Irish.
It's not a whiskey.
Really?
Nope, it's not whiskey at all, sir.
It tastes
It'll
very,
also
very
help me-
much like whiskey. What is
Well,
this?
that's probably the bourbon agent. Well, folks, are you ready for the big reveal?
I am. Do tell.
What you are drinking this evening, Tony, is Martell Blue Swift French Cognac aged in a bourbon barrel. So this is a unique spirit. I saw it and I just
Cognac.
thought, yes, it's cognac
Oh.
aged in a bourbon barrel. So when I saw this, I thought, oh, this would be the perfect mystery spirit. And I figured you weren't going to get anything right. The fact that you got the cask aging, yet you were still picking up the fruitiness, it's actually not bad. We've
I'll
your
take
palate's
that.
come along quite a well.
I'll
Yeah,
take
you're
that.
able to pick out the cask aging, which is really what is going to influence a spirit more than anything. The cask aging is as much of an influence as even the base spirit itself. But yes, this is a cognac from France.
Okay.
That is aged in a bourbon barrel, sir. So well done. Now we're going to grade this one on just 3 scales.
What's the brand on this, you said?
Martell, Martell, and this is their Blue Swift release.
Okay.
It's made from cognac, VSOP, then finished in bourbon cask. Here, I'll just read the quick aside.
Please.
For years, the Swift has been an icon for Martell, a symbol of the pioneering spirit that once inspired its momentous journey in 1783, making it the first to ship its barrels of cognac to the United States. It guides us once again with this smooth liquid made of 100% Martell VSOP cognac, then finished in bourbon cask from Kentucky. In tribute to the bluegrass state, Martell Swift combines Martell's signature style of delicate fruit and plum notes with the subtle sweetness and vanilla and toasted oak of the bourbon casks.
Okay.
So this one, when I picked it up, I literally picked this up just because I thought, I'm going to see if I can totally stump Tony in a blind spirits test. And you got 50%. The fact that you got the cask aging means that we've been around enough bourbons in our time to the point where not bad, T. You're able to.
I'll take
This
that.
has the influence of bourbon on it somewhere.
No, I
This has
never
touched
would have.
bourbon.
I never would have guessed cognac just because it's not one of the go-to spirits I frequent. I'm a Scotch and an Irish or a blended or a Canadian or a bourbon type guy, and I almost thought Japanese, but you said not whiskey, so that really threw me off. But if this isn't bad, I could sip this. I don't know that I would go for this specifically, but if I was going to pick up a cognac, this is very nice. This is very approachable, and I like it.
As a cognac, yes, it's quite approachable. There is some people that like cognac can be kind of intimidating to some people.
Sure.
It's supposed to be this high flaunted la-di-da drink, and this is one that you could. I'll be honest, I could potentially make a sidecar out of this, or a lot of different classic cognac cocktails. I could even make a whiskey fix out of this. This you could do. This one, I think, really would shine in the cocktail world. You could go either way. So, Tony, before we wrap up here, I need your gradings on this particular spirit, sir.
How are we grading this specific one?
This one's so unique and so different. We're going to keep it on 3 scales.
Okay.
As a cognac, which, well, let's just say as a brandy, because cognac is brandy.
Okay.
But for those who don't know, cognac is brandy made in Cognac, France. It's kind of like champagne. It must be from the Champagne Valley of France to be called champagne. Okay. And just like it must be from Cognac, France to call it cognac. So as a brandy, as a brown spirit, we might add cognac as its own classification later. But for this one, for a first look, we'll keep it to brandy, brown spirits, and shelving. So, Tony, as a brandy, how
I'll
would you rate this amongst the brandies that you've had in this life?
I'll be perfectly honest. I have not had a lot of brandy, and it has been, gosh, I couldn't tell you the last time I had a brandy, and I want to say the last brand of brandy I had was probably a very cheap Phillips, very very cheap, cost effective, get you drunk type brandy, and it's sweet, it's thick, it's not meant to be a delicatessen. This, on the other hand, it's a lot thinner. It's much more approachable. I assume it's much more cost effective than some of the higher end cognacs and brandies, but
This
I really
bottle cost me $39.
okay. That's pretty respectable, I think, in the world of cognac and a brandy. So, I in a brandy scale, I would give this an easy 3.75.
You know what? I could agree with that. To be honest, I'm kind of a brandy snob. I'll be
Sure,
honest. I love
sure,
me some
sure.
cognac. One of my favorite end of the night drinks is 2 ounces of cognac on the rocks with a dried mango slice in it. That is my
Okay.
ultimate end of the night drink. Usually, it helps me get to sleep. I'll usually be to pass out before I ever even get to the dried mango slice. It's kind of a delightful little treat at the end. But usually, I just fall asleep before I ever get there. So it's as a brandy, I would give this 3.25. It's definitely for its price, definitely one that'll probably be going back to once or twice. Now, as a brown spirit, sir, we touched on this a little bit, but what's your impressions?
As a brown spirit, brandy's a little bit more unique. I think there's a lot, being that brandy, not necessarily just the texture, but the feel of the taste can be a lot thicker than some of the scotches and irishes and blendeds that we typically frequent. That does help it in the brown spirit realm. I'm gonna give this a 3.5 on a brown spirit scale because I could just the unique sweetnesses that this particular spirit has. I think you could make a nice cocktail out of this because I'm picking up different like vanillas and licorices and just the interesting sweetnesses that this has. I think you could make a really interesting cocktail with this. So 3.5.
You know what? I'm gonna agree with you. 3.5 as a brown spirit, excellent. I could definitely cocktail this. In fact, I think in the coming days and weeks, I'm probably gonna try both cognac and whiskey cocktails with this just to see how it turns out. I think this will
Awesome.
make a marvelous whiskey fix. And next time you're over, Tony, we might do a second look review with a couple of cocktails on this one.
Excellent.
And then last but not least, champ, shelving. Where would you place this? Top, middle, bottom?
Um, I reserve my top shelf, as you can kind of see behind me, for specifically very, very well done master blends or scotches or high shelf Irishes. So this would not quite hit my top shelf, but I could easily see this on my middle shelf. I don't think there'd be any reason I'd have to put it on my bottom shelf, unless my middle shelf was so crowded that I needed to, but even then, I think there'd be something else I would substitute much, much further before this. This feels like a middle shelf to me.
I'm gonna actually completely agree with you. I would actually make a little room in my middle shelf for this. This is just a great, approachable cognac that, especially for us folks across the pond, if you're watching this from across the Atlantic, us folks across the pond, this is a great way to make a European spirit approachable to Americans. Started off with a bourbon aging. And for some reason, us Americans will just flock to it. So, and it's what introduced me and made me interested in the whole idea. So, of this bottling, and God knows I'll probably pick up a bottle of Martell's standard cognac at some point in the future, in the next few years, if I see it for reasonable pricing. God knows. I mean, well, I know they make a good cognac that was aged bourbon, so I'll give them a shot. So that is pretty brilliant marketing, if I do
I
say
like it.
so. So, Tony, as I'm known to say around here, all that being said, this has been our premium spirits review of Martell Blue Swift Bourbon Aged Cask Cognac. I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your king of extreme, Phil K.O.E., signing off and handing it off to my indomitable broadcast partner,
The Impressed, Tony F and G. Let's go ahead and kick these back. Like, share, subscribe for all the excellent spirit reviews, the KOE Nation. Thanks for joining us.